Coming up tonight on the News at 6, what a bill signed into law today means for the statewide mask mandate. Plus,
we would want to get to 5 days. We don't have a pathway there right now.
Helena public schools are phasing up, what that means for students and teachers.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the News at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. Well, our top story tonight, Governor Greg Gianforte says he will allow the statewide mask mandate to expire this Friday after he signed a bill he had called a necessary first step to lifting the mandate. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has the latest from the Capitol.
Montana implemented a state mask mandate in July, and it's applied to all counties statewide since November. Now, Governor Greg Gianforte says he's ready to rescind the mandate by the end of this week.
As I've said, we will continue to provide incentives to protect the health and safety of Montanans, and we will emphasize personal responsibility over mandates.
He made the announcement Wednesday at a signing ceremony for Senate Bill 65, a measure that limits when businesses, healthcare providers, and other organizations can be sued over COVID-19 related damages.
This is a significant step in getting Montana safely open for business.
Gianforte had said implementing SB 65 was a first step before he'd consider lifting the mandate. Another of his requirements was that more vulnerable Montanans receive COVID vaccines. He says as counties start vaccinating those over 70 and pharmacies hold clinics in long-term care facilities, that requirement has been met. He also pointed to the continued drop in active COVID-19 cases across the state. Gianforte said while the state mandate will end Friday, local governments can still implement their own mask mandates. The state has announced they'll receive another 16,000 first doses of COVID vaccine next week and more than 13,000 second doses. But Gianforte said Wednesday he still wants the federal government to increase Montana's allocation. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Today, the Montana Department of Corrections said 110 inmates have gotten the COVID-19 vaccine. According to the DOC, all inmates who got shots met the eligibility requirements under Phase 1B and are located at the Montana State Prison. And all other inmates and people in congregate care will be eligible in Phase 1C. Now, since June 1st of last year, the Department of Corrections has seen 974 confirmed COVID-19 cases in inmates, 218 cases in staff, and 6 inmate deaths related to the virus across its 7 facilities. Taking a look at Montana's COVID-19 situation, the state reached a few COVID-19 milestones today. Active cases in the state continue to fall and have dipped below 3,000. The last time active cases in the state were below 3,000 was September 26th. Montana has also administered more than 1 million COVID-19 tests to date. Just over 250 additional COVID-19 cases were reported in the state today. 108 people are currently hospitalized with the virus in Montana. 5 additional deaths have been reported today, all of them in Cascade County. That brings the statewide death total to 1,336. MTN uses a combination of state and local data to report COVID-19 cases and deaths here in Montana. All right, now it's time for first weather with Andy Curtis, which means cold and wind.
Yeah, I really don't even need to say much more than that because cold is here to stay at least for the next couple of days. Now, wind not so much, but there is enough wind to make that cold feel even colder. That's the wind chill. Taking a look at that around the state tonight, 27 below with that wind chill. That wind chill is up in Havre. 36 with the wind chill in Cut Bank, 29 below zero in Great Falls, Helena 28 below zero, Lewistown 42 below zero with the wind chill. Not a great night to be doing anything outside, so please be careful if you need to. Make sure the pets come in quickly and make sure you come in quickly if you're outside at all. 24-hour temperature change. Havre, it's actually 8 degrees warmer right now than it was yesterday, but the rest of the state pretty common, pretty similar to what we were seeing yesterday as far as temperatures. A few snow flurries around the capital city and the central part of the states, and we're still going to see those sub-zero temperatures tomorrow and the next couple of days, along with some snow flurries, but we do have a warm-up on the horizon. I'll tell you about that coming up.
right, Thanks, Andy. Students in the Helena School District will begin returning to in-person classes 4 days a week. The school board voted 6-2 last night to start shifting to the newly revised Phase 2 of the district's reopening plan. Superintendent Tyler Ream recommended the district phase up, saying too many students were falling behind academically, socially, and emotionally. In the revised Phase 2, most students will be on campus at the same time, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. All students will be in remote classes on Wednesday. Ream says that day is needed so teachers can support students who plan to continue all online learning through the Digital Learning Initiative.
Obviously, in a phase 2, we would want to get to 5 days. We don't have a pathway there right now. We would have to increase staffing or change some things in order to get there.
Under Ream's suggested timeline, younger students will make the transition first. District leaders say even in Phase 2, they are still a long way from normal school operations. They will take steps like adding partitions, and they are considering possible block scheduling models for middle and high school. There is a new fund available to provide immediate help to Montana Native American families with a missing loved one. The Snowbird Fund was launched by Montana businesswoman Whitney Williams and the Montana Community Foundation. Activists say it fills a hole currently not being met by the government.
From organizations I've worked with that directly try to address the crisis, there's maybe only one other that tries to do that direct, immediate funding, tries to take away, the red tape of accessing the funds. And I think Snowbird is kind of in this incredible space where, it's kind of that immediate funding.
Families can use the grant funding for a variety of expenses like gas money and meals for searchers, purchasing tools like aerial drones, and holding vigils. Williams was inspired to create the fund while running for governor after hearing stories of families having to conduct their own searches.
And what we realized was that across the state, the needs were very similar. People just needed a little bit of support financially because here we have communities, many of whom are already in poverty or extreme poverty, having to foot the bill for these searches.
Williams said she knows the fund will not solve the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous people in the state, but she hopes people will see it as a community issue for all Montanans that can be made better by neighbors helping neighbors. And a new nonprofit opened in Townsend, offering services they say are in high demand here in Montana. MTN's Alexia Guayo has the story.
Stability exercise.
Monique Prevail teaches us different exercises.
I'll have to step over it.
To many, these exercises may seem simple, but these workouts are for unique individuals.
It provides access to adaptive fitness programs for individuals with autism, special needs, and their families.
Monique says those with autism or other special needs may have difficulty performing day-to-day physical activities. She decided to become a certified fitness-focused instructor for this population after her own experience with her son in 2018.
Due to the fact that my son, who is nonverbal autistic, started running, I just thought there needs to be something to focus his attention, to focus his energy on. And so I started researching fitness programs for autistic individuals. The only problem with that was there's nothing like that program in Montana. There wasn't at that time even an autism fitness certified professional in the state.
And to make sure not only her son has the privilege to be physically trained, Monique founded Big Sky Autism Project, a nonprofit based in Townsend. She herself is a certified autism fitness instructor. Additionally, her nonprofit is the first certified fitness-focused instructional program for special needs students in the state, thanks to Autism Fitness.
I wanted to become certified because there's nothing here in Montana. Other than the regular services, we need more autism and special needs services that aren't just going to a doctor's office and doing speech for 45 minutes.
In Townsend, I'm Alexia Guayo, MTN News.
Big Sky Autism Project hopes to expand their services in Montana and train people to become certified autism fitness instructors. And still ahead on the news at 6, we give you a wilder view and tell you why this is the best time of year to spot river otters.
Montana's news leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. With winter finally here, and it is absolutely finally here, it is considered the best time to see river otters. Our wildlife correspondent, Tanner Saul, has the details in this week's edition of Wilder View.
Right now are some of the best times to view river otters, and the reason for this is during the winter months, river otters are primarily diurnal, meaning they're most active during the daytime. So the best times to view them is usually early morning or late evening. Once spring comes, otters will go back to being primarily nocturnal all the way through fall. Despite their small size, otters have large home ranges with territories reaching up to 100 square miles. But during the winter months, they usually only occupy 9% of their home range. They are uniquely suited for aquatic life. As they dive, they close their eyes and nostrils to keep water out and can hold their breath up to 4 minutes long. An interesting adaptation to this aquatic life is that their lungs are triangular, and the right lung is over 19% larger than the left, and has 4 lobes compared with 2 for the left. And although you'll probably see them in the water the majority of the time, otters can travel many miles on land, usually by bounding. Although much more research needs to be done, it is hypothesized that otters use latrine sites to communicate. They could be communicating territory borders, social status, health, or reproductive status. So, go out and look for them throughout Montana's rivers, streams, and lakes. In Missoula, Tanner Saul, MTN News.
All right, well, this might not be the best time to go out and look for them for the next few days. What do you think,
I wouldn't
Andy?
think so. I mean, maybe you can do it from, I don't know, your house, but I'd
Binoculars.
certainly try anything that avoids going outside over the next couple of days, because it is cold and it's going to stay cold. I'll tell you more coming up. Welcome back, everybody. Andy Curtis filling in for Curtis Grevenitz once again this chilly Montana evening. Taking a look at the temperature, you probably could have guessed this before I showed you. 9 below zero in the capital city right now, but it feels so much cooler than that. 28 below is with that wind chill factored in, so another cold night in the capital city. Taking a trip up north to Great Falls, 16 below, and it feels like 29 below zero. So just a dangerous night across Montana with that wind chill and some snow still falling lightly in some spots. But temperatures right now, 14 below in Havre, 20 in Cut Bank, 21 in Lewistown, and again, factor in that wind chill. What we were just seeing in Great Falls and Helena, close to 30 below zero there with these 3 spots. It's, very cold, probably pushing 40 degrees below zero. And a little bit of snow still falling just in spots, very light scattered snow showers. That's capital city. Helena was still seeing some this afternoon, and it's starting to lighten up. It's still coming out from the west, though. And this is what we can expect over the next couple of days as far as snow goes. A few scattered snow showers coming and going, but very similar to what we saw today will be the case over the next couple of days, Thursday and Friday. And then it should start to clear up as we head into the weekend. And it should start to get a little warmer. Yes, I know what I said, warmer over the next couple of days. It will be very slight, so don't start planning your summer wardrobe right now because it's still going to be very, very cold, but it will be warmer over the next couple of days starting Friday. There's a twist for you. Thursday is going to be pretty downright frigid and might be the coldest day of the week so far. So take a look at the future tracker. Saw that snow coming up yesterday, tomorrow, and then Thursday. More down to the southwest, we can expect to see good spread of snow across the sky and across the state down there. And Friday, that's staying pretty much the same situation. But again, very light snow, scattered snow showers across the state, and see it's really not going to accumulate to much as we get into Friday night. Barely an inch in Helena, a little bit more, between 1 and 3 inches rather, as you head to Butte and out west to Missoula. So just a dusting if it accumulates on the ground at all. Mostly it'll be noticeable up high above as it kind of blocks out the sun just a little bit, like we again saw today. Tonight, temperatures dropping down, very cold across the state. We're looking at 28 at Great Divide below zero, so imagine 28, 30, 35 degrees below zero for the norm as far as tonight goes. And then tomorrow, it's going to be even colder during the day than it was today. So 13 below in Helena, 18 below in Great Falls, 11 and 14 in Cup Bank and Havre, 17 in Lewistown. But that's when it'll start to turn for the better. Still below zero on Friday, but that trend is heading in the opposite direction. As we head into Saturday, we might just get above that zero mark in some spots. 6 below still in Havre, and Great Falls and Helena will be clocking in the single digits. So 1 to 3 degrees, 1 to 9 degrees for the high, and spots around are still going to be in the below zero range. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday really is when we start to see that warm spell settle in on the state. And I'm using the term loosely for warm, like I had mentioned a couple times over the past couple of days. It's going to be warm to us. So the 7-day forecast for Helena, or Great Falls rather, 15 below tomorrow, could see 40 below with that wind chill. 9 below on Friday, there's that warm trend starting. Saturday, 1 below, good amount of sunshine, slight breeze out of the southwest. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we get above the zero mark with 7 and then 26, and we get close to freezing as we start the work week in the Helena area. Similar, where we are below zero over the next couple of days, but once we hit the weekend, we'll start to climb back up, and we could get into the double digits on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Andy. Coming up, despite a less than normal indoor track and field season, one Carroll College athlete is at the top of her game.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back. Well, this year's indoor track and field season has been anything but normal, but that is not holding one athlete back. One Carroll College athlete is on the top of the NAIA after this past weekend. MTN's Sam Hoyle has the story.
Over the weekend at the Blue Hawk Classic in Dickinson, North Dakota, Carroll College Track and Field's Nikki Kruger became the top shot put thrower in the nation with this throw right here, 46 feet 8 inches. Now, while she was competing, Kruger wasn't sure whether or not this throw would be enough to get her into the top spot in the nation, but after she found out, she certainly wasn't surprised.
I wasn't quite sure how far it was, but I had known I'd been throwing that in practice. So it wasn't a big surprise, but it was definitely a lot of pressure off my shoulders.
Kruger started her journey throwing shot put and discus in high school and followed in her sister's footsteps to throw for the Fighting Saints. And Nikki has made sure people at Carroll College know who's the better of the two.
In high school, I was really close friends with the head track coach for the girls' side, and he was like, we're going to make you a thrower. My sister was a thrower before me. She threw here at Carroll too. I beat her in both, so now I can say I'm better.
As of now, Kruger stands atop the NAIA with her current throw of 46 feet 8 inches. And while she can't control what other athletes are going to do, that doesn't mean she has any plans of kicking her feet up and waiting for someone to pass her.
It's definitely a waiting game to see if anyone else is going to pop off a big throw, but for the most part, my goal at the end of the year is to at least hit 50, and so it's just going to keep grinding towards that.
The Carroll College Indoor Track and Field squad schedule is always in flux, but up next for sure for the Fighting Saints is meet at Black Hills State in Spearfish, South Dakota on February 20th. Reporting in Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN Sports.
All right, and we'll wrap things up here on the News at 6 when we come back.
As news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
All right, well, anytime you hear about bears wandering around a neighborhood, keep this story in mind. A lion decided to check out a hotel in western India early one morning, and the whole thing was caught on tape. Around 5 in the morning, the lion is an early riser, it jumped over a barrier and walked through the Bellevue Saravar Portico Hotel. The lion casually checked out the deserted hotel before leaving the same way it entered. Now, it is not unusual for lions to stray into cities and towns in this area.
Nothing impressive about that. If that lion were doing it in sub-zero temperatures, then that would be something that we could talk about here in Montana. 7-day forecast for the Helena area. It's cold for the next couple of days. We will finally get above zero, though, it looks like on Saturday. And then Sunday, that warming trend continues. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we might get close to freezing. In Great Falls, similar upward trend, but a little colder over the next couple of days.
All right, that does it for the News at 6. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 with your latest local headlines and another look at the weather. We'll see you then.